Ever found yourself staring at your design thinking it just needs that extra spark? I have been there hundred of times. We all crave those eye-catching visuals, the ones that make people pause and go, wow. Today I'm sharing my favorite Canva secrets that will turn your designs from ordinary to, oh my god, how did you do that? Hit that full screen button and let's turn your Canva canvas into a visual playground. Alright, let's dive into creating an amazing clipping mask or cutout text effect in Canva. Imagine designing a sleek fashion magazine cover or modern art event posters. This effect is perfect for that. First up, head over to Canva and search for magazine cover under templates. For this demo, I'm using the green modern fashion magazine template. It's a Pro template, so you will need Canva Pro to use it. Click on the template and hit Customize this template. By the way, if you're unsure about magazine dimensions, starting with a template is a quick shortcut. The standard magazine cover is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, just so you know. Before we get to the text effect, we need to separate the model from the background. Go to Position and then to Layers to see the different layers in the design. Select the image and click on Edit Photo. Use the Magic Grab under Magic Studio. After separating the model, the new layer will automatically be placed on top of all other layers. Right-click on the model layer and send it to back. Now everything looks as we started. Time for clipping mask effect. Select the heading Magazine and duplicate it. Place it over the original heading. Under Layers, you can see there are now two magazine layers. The top one is our duplicated heading. Select it and click on Effects. Then choose the Hollow effect. After that, push the original magazine beneath the model layer. Just drag and drop it in the layers. As a finishing touch, select the Hollow magazine layer, go back to Effects, and reduce the thickness. You can also set the transparency of the original magazine layer to around 60% to blend it with the background image. And there you have it. Move the model around and the clipping mask effect follows. Alternatively, you can start from scratch on a new page. Go to Elements, search for Fashion or a fashion model. Choose an image with a less busy background so that Magic Grab works flawlessly. Right-click on the image and select Replace Background. Then edit the photo with Magic Grab. You can resize the model if you prefer. Press T to insert a text box. Type something relevant to your design. Make it big and prominent, around 120 to 150 font size. Keep it concise. I suggest no more than 2 words for a magazine title. Fonts like Bodoni Moda and League Spartan are excellent for magazine covers and posters. Your font choice shows whether you are an experienced professional. Knowing what fonts to use for which types of designs can significantly increase your hourly rate. Click on Text Color and pick from the photo's color palette. This is the easiest way to achieve a professional look. Right-click on the text and send it to back. Duplicate the text and place the copy exactly over the original layer. Head over to Effects and select Hollow and reduce the thickness. Change the hollow text color to a contrasting color from the photo color palette. To add depth to the text, add a shadow effect to the original heading layer. Select it under Layers, go to Effects, and choose the Lift effect. Adjust the intensity level as you like. You can also set the transparency of this layer to 60% to blend it well with the background image. Now, you can move this model anywhere in the design and the clipping mask effect will follow. Remember, 4 things set you apart from other freelance graphic designers. Your choice of font, creating depth in your design, blending text with images, and your choice of color palette. And there you go. You have just created a stunning clipping mask or cutout text effect in Canva, elevating your design game to the next level. This effect is not just a visual treat, but also a testament to your skill and creativity as a designer. Experiment with different images, fonts, and colors to see how you can make each design uniquely yours. Before you move to the next text effect, here is a quick tip. You might want to bookmark this video. It's packed with unique text effects and font style suggestions that you will definitely want to come back to. Just hit the like button. It adds this video to your liked videos playlist, making it super easy to find later. Trust me, you will thank yourself next time you're looking for some creative design inspiration. Let's dive into Typecraft Text Effect, a stunning choice for vintage posters, urban event promotions, and even interior design portfolios. This effect can truly make your design stand out and brings a unique retro vibe. So let's get started. First, we need the perfect backdrop. In Canva, search for Contemporary Art Museum in Elements. Select this photo featuring a man standing inside an art museum. Using the Alt key on Windows or Option key on Mac, resize the image to fill your design canvas. Now, to get the colors right, let's tap into the color palette of your background image. Press T to add a text box. Click on the text color and hover over a color that closely matches the wall. Note the hex code and type it in the text box. Repeat this step to find another contrasting color. These colors will help your text blend seamlessly with the background, giving your design a professional touch. Next, head to Apps on the left sidebar in Canva and search for Typecraft. This fantastic app allows you to twist and squeeze the text in creative ways, and it offers a great collection of fonts and styles too. For our design, we will go for a minimalistic, clean-lined sans serif font to make the text as realistic as possible. I recommend Chido 123 for its simplicity and elegance. Once you have typed your text in the text box, choose the outline style. Set the fill color close to the wall color and add a contrasting outline. This contrast is crucial for making your text pop while still blending well with the background. Now the fun part begins. Play with the dots in the Typecraft to twist or squeeze the text. Aim to align the top line of the text with some horizontal plane in the image, like the bottom border of the image frames. To rotate precisely, hold Ctrl on Windows or Command key on Mac and then rotate. Adjust the curvature and the squeezing of the text using the dots. The second and the fourth dot control the curvature, while the other dots let you squeeze the text. Take your time and experiment until the vertical lines of your characters are parallel to the vertical lines in the image frame. Remember, achieving perfection here might require some practice, but it's worth it. Once you are happy with the text, delete all the hex code text boxes. And don't worry, you can always resize, rotate, or edit the Typecraft text later by selecting it and choosing Edit. This effect is not just visually striking, but also adds a level of sophistication to your design. It demonstrates your skill in blending text with images and making informed font choices, essential for professional graphic designer. Try this effect in different scenarios and see how it transforms your designs. I have got a little challenge for you. Can you guess how many different fonts we have talked about in this video? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'm curious to see who's been paying close attention. Moving on to the smoke and wave text effect. This is an absolute game changer for designing music album covers, especially for genres like electronic or ambient Let's create something magical. Start by adding a text box in Canva. We are using the Cinzel font style for its bold and artistic flair, but Josephine Sans also work wonders here. Type the first letter of your chosen word and make it bold. This is crucial for the effect to really stand out. Now duplicate this text box multiple times, typing the next character in each new box. Don't worry about the precise arrangement just yet. Just make sure they are in the correct order. Next, let's get these characters perfectly aligned. Place the first and last characters approximately where they should be. Then select all characters, right-click and choose Space Evenly. You can also find this under Position and Arrange, then select Tidy Up. The secret here is to place the characters close enough so that one character slightly overlaps the other. This overlap is what creates that cohesive and continuous look. Now go to Layers and reorder the characters. The last character should be at the bottom and the first at the top. This ordering will affect how the shadow falls on each character, creating that intricate depth that we are looking for. For instance, if you want the shadow of M to fall on Y, make sure M is above Y in the layers. It's all about shadow play here. For the background, let's add some drama. Search for a dense smoke image like this teal smoke and set it as your background. This choice of background is not just aesthetic, it also helps in enhancing the text effect. Select all your text characters and apply a white color to them. Now head to the effects and select the shadow effect. Adjust the direction so the shadow falls to the right. Increase the blur to around 45 and choose black for the shadow color. You can set the transparency to about 50% so that the black looks like somewhat grayish. This step is where text starts to come alive, with each letter casting subtle, mysterious shadow. But we are not done yet. Go back to Elements and search for Transparent Light Effect. Choose one that complements your design and resize it to fill the canvas. Rearrange this layer so it's above half the letters. This addition of light effect will create depth and movement in your design, giving it a professional and captivating look. Finally, feel free to rotate, resize and reposition the wave as per your liking. It's all about creating that perfect visual harmony. You have just created a smoke and wave text effect that's not just visually striking but narrates a story of its own. It's perfect for music album covers where you want to convey a sense of mystery and artistry. Play around with backgrounds, fonts and light effects to see how each change transforms your design. Heads up on something exciting. Our next video is all about creating impossible text effects possible on Canva. It's going to be a game changer and I can't wait to share it with you. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon. You won't want to miss it. It's dropping next week. Alright, now let's explore the negative space text effect. This one is particularly great for minimalistic brand logos or sleek, clean website headers. It's all about what you don't see that makes the impact. Let's just jump in. We will start with a background image. For our design, let's go with a dark abstract look. In Canva, search for abstract dark blue in Elements. I am choosing this abstract navy blue silk background image. Once you have got it, resize it to fill your canvas. Next, it's time for our text. Add a large text box and type your text. We are going for something bold and clear, so select fonts like Montserrat, Futura PT or Leak Spotted. These fonts work really well for this effect. Set the text color to white and reduce the transparency so that the background is just slightly visible. We want this layer to be subtle yet noticeable. Duplicate the text, reduce the font size, and then set the transparency to 100. Change the text. Now, for the key step in creating that negative space. Duplicate the background image you just selected. Place this duplicate exactly over the original. In the layers, position this duplicate image between the small and larger text layers. Then crop this duplicated image at the top and the bottom to create that striking negative space above and below the smaller text. It's the space that gives the design its minimalistic and modern feel. A pro tip here: if you're moving the text, remember to adjust the crop of the duplicated image accordingly. It's all about aligning the elements to achieve that perfect balance. In cases where you're working with brand logos, you might use a transparent logo graphic instead of the largest text layer. If you're using a normal photo of the logo, make sure to remove its background to maintain that effect. This effect is perfect for brands looking to convey a sense of modernity and simplicity. Remember, sometimes less is more, and this effect is a perfect example of that. Experiment with different backgrounds and text sizes to see how it changes the feel of your design. Now, let's get into the solid background cutout text effect. Perfectly suited for bold, clear sale announcements or attention-grabbing signs. This effect is not only eye-catching, but also straightforward to create, so let's start. First, let's type our main text. For this demo, we are going with sale. Add a text box in Canva and type in sale. I'm using the Oswald font set to a size just less than 400 for its bold and impactful look. Oswald and Railway are excellent choices here, as they bring clarity and strength to our message. Next, we will add a sale icon. Search for a sale icon in Canva Elements and position it above the sale text. But here's the trick. Send this icon behind the text layer. Now let's add another layer of text. Add a text box and type the percentage sign. Set the font to Oswald, matching our sale text, and resize it, maybe even rotate it slightly for a dynamic look. Position this percentage sign between the letters A and L in sale. This positioning is key for the cutout effect. At this stage, let's start building our background. Search for beauty care products in Canva Elements and choosing this image for its vibrant and engaging look. Use the magic grab tool to separate the products from the background. This step creates two different layers, one for the product, another for the background. Select the products layer, go to Edit Photo and add a drop shadow effect. Customize the shadow with around 60 blur, 20 angle and 50 intensity. Position the products in such a way that they create an illusion of being placed on a plane in front of sale text layer. This positioning and shadow effect adds depth and dimension to your design. Now, for an aesthetic touch, let's add an attractive model. Search for indoor short attractive female and choose an image. Remove the background from this model image and reposition her in your design. To add the same shadow effect from the beauty products to the model, select the products. Click on this Copy Style button and then click on the model layer. This action will copy the shadow effect, ensuring consistency across your design elements. Select the sale text layer and choose a color from the color palette of the images you have used. Go to Effects and add a shadow effect. Set the offset to 34, direction to -45, blur to 0. To differentiate the text from its shadow, reduce the transparency of the shadow to around 60. This subtle differentiation is crucial for the cutout effect. For the sale icon, apply the same color as the sale text. Canva typically do not allow us to add shadow effect to icons added from graphics under Canva elements. Still, I wish to create the same shadow effect of the sale text to this icon too. To create a shadow effect, duplicate the icon, send it to back, and slightly position the duplicated icon to the bottom right. Change its color to match the shadow of the sale text layer. Finally, click on the percentage layer, go to Effects, and choose the Outline effect. Pick a color from the background image that's close to the percentage sign. Increase the outline's thickness to match the width of one side of the characters A and L in sale. This is the solid background cutout text effect that's both bold and clear, perfect for drawing attention. This effect is a fantastic way to make your sale announcements or signs stand out. Now, let's move on to the fading shadow text effect. This effect is particularly effective for tech event posters or introspective book covers. It's all about creating a sense of depth and subtlety. Let's get into it. Firstly, we need a suitable background. In Canva, search for abstract high-tech in elements. I'm choosing this image that gives off a futuristic vibe. Resize it to fill your design canvas, ensuring it sets the right tone for the text effect. Now press T to add a text box, or go to Text and click on Add a Heading. Now type in your word. You will be using the Roboto font for its modern and clean appearance. Fonts like Roboto and Playfair Display are particularly effective for this effect. Set your font size to something substantial, around 300, and make sure it's bold. Here comes the crucial part. Duplicate the text layer, set the transparency to just 20%, and slightly shift it above the original text layer. Remember, in Canva, this means that the text is 20% opaque or 80% transparent. Duplicate this new transparent text layer and position it slightly below the original text layer. Select both these new transparent text layers and send them behind the original text, but position them slightly above and below the background image. To create a layered shadow effect, duplicate the transparent text layer again. This time make 2 copies, one positioned slightly above and the other slightly below the previous layers. Set the transparency of these layers to around 10% or 8%. This gradual fading of text layers create an amazing depth effect. To enhance this effect, let's focus on the original text layer. Select it, go to Effects and choose the Shadow effect. Adjust the settings, set the offset to 15, the direction to 180 degrees and the blur to 50. For the shadow color, choose black and adjust the transparency to 90%, making it slightly gray. This adjustment adds a subtle, sophisticated shadow to your text, enhancing the fading effect. That's a stunning fading shadow text effect. This effect isn't just visually appealing, it adds a whole new dimension to your design. It's perfect for projects where you want to convey a sense of depth, sophistication, and modernity. Do you want to take these designs to another level further? Click on this thumbnail to watch how I added an elegant touch to my design by adjusting the text animation effect timings.